Hey, what's going on? Unblinded. What is happening? Unblinded team, thank you so much for being here. Let's make sure we get some music on for tomorrow, even if we need to leave other meetings earlier. Love to have some energy back in here. And for everyone, welcome to the #1 place to start your day with a daily dose of integrity-based human influence. My name's Fernando, and today's Thankful Thursday. So what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for our team. I really am. I know Sean is always grateful for all of you and our movement. And I just want to take a second to share, just the love that I have for this Unblinded team, what they're doing for the movement, what they're doing for each other, how they're able to pivot, turn, and their commitment. The Unblinded team is currently working anywhere between 16 and 20 hours a day, 16 and 20 hours a day, simply hyper moving how we can make everything easier, how we can reduce the friction, how we can consolidate our information to make it shorter in length, easier to digest, and more important, inclusive to everyone. We're very clear that some language doesn't fit for different groups, different people, and we're very cognizant of that. And we're super grateful for the leaders we have who have taken the time to share with us, to show us, to unblind us. We're blind. There's areas, we have blind spots. Unblinded has blind spots. And we're lucky because we have you. We're lucky because we have a movement who's committed to unblinding, who's committed to standing with us and saying, hey guys, I feel like you can grow in this area, and telling us the hard truth and confronting us with what matters. And for everyone, from my heart, and I'll speak for Sean and company, thank you. Thank you for telling us the truth. Thank you for confronting us on how we could be better, because none of us are attached to being right. It's the truth we're after. And if we're blind and you can show us we're wrong, thank you, because it's the truth we're after. That's what matters. And on Thankful Thursday, not only am I grateful for the team, I'm grateful for those leaders in different verticals, people that have been with us for 6 months, 2 months, 1 month, a week, a day. And if this is your first huddle, what's happening? I'm super happy you're here. And some of us have been with Sean even longer than that. So it is a beautiful ride. It is I wouldn't even call it a roller coaster. It's more like a magic carpet ride, being chased by a tsunami, because it's a little crazy. And we're pivoting, we're being agile, and more importantly, we're having some fun together. So in the chat, so we can get some optics as the team joins us here, and we can kick it off. What are we thankful for? What is one thing we're thankful for? If we had to encapsulate it in a word or a sentence, what are we thankful for today? Let's start our day with some gratitude. I'm grateful for, I'm thankful for, I'm grateful for, I'm thankful for. Let's get some love in this group. Let's get some love in this energy. Let's get some love in this chat. What are we grateful for? What are we thankful for? And let's see what we got out there, because you are the voice. You are the people. Without you, there is no Unblinded. This is something so much greater and bigger than any individual, including Sean, Adam, myself, Chaz, Lily, Nicole, the whole team. This is about you, your money, your time, your magic. And sometimes as I, speak to different people, there's this thought that this is this magical game to get people to join Unblinded. And it's not. This is a game to help you achieve your goals, help you achieve your dreams, help you achieve your magic. And as a byproduct, maybe Unblinded will win. So on this Thankful Thursday, let's read some of the things that are in the chat, because it is blowing up. Let's see. We have the Unblinded family. Ed is grateful for life. Rich Levine for oatmeal and coffee. That's as real as it gets, brother. Jason Sipple, love for others. We got Radia, thankful for having God in my life. Samia, I'm grateful for the gift of eyesight. Adam, I'm grateful for my mom. I love you, Miss Gagino. We have Shuling, I'm grateful for being on this team, meeting amazing souls. Rania, thankful for Jay and Catherine Levine. Mary, so grateful for sunshine and beautiful weather. Vivian for grounding. Love that, grounding. Varan, I'm thankful for being an essential worker. You are much more than an essential worker, Varan. You are an angel on this planet. Ruth, grateful for willingness to learn. I don't know what this is, but they're looking for coffee. Deepak is grateful for family. Phyllis for God and the ability to start every new morning and offer the same fresh perspective to others. Ken for the willing to give themselves and help others. Wow, it is just chock full of love, chock full of feeling. Hala is grateful for all of it and waking up to this beautiful energy and team. And let's drop in. Let's drop into some thoughts. It's 8:36. We'll end by 8:45. And this morning on our Mastery student call, we were focusing on 10 by 10, and we were focusing on Real Raw Open. So let's go through some distinctions. You know, we've had some of you on this huddle for such a long time. I'm talking about like months and months and months. We've done almost 700-800 of these, starting since last August. And we're super grateful for each and every single one of you. This huddle is a beautiful place to get grounded, as Vivian so beautifully said. Start your day with a dose of integrity-based human influence. The distinction is that this is not the place to learn the formula. This is a place to start your day, get exposure to the formula, get grounded on what to do on your 10 by 10 and on your Real Raw Opens. This is not the place to learn the formula. So if some like beautiful folks are here to learn the formula, my recommendation would be to check out the 30-day Influence Mastery program. This is not like, hey, Fernando's like selling something. This is me simply saying, if you're looking to learn the formula, it starts there. It's not these huddles. These huddles, once you have an understanding of the formula, once you have like the prism of the formula, you can rise your learning here. But I would recommend first area of learning is the 30-day program, and then coming here to stay anchored, start your day, view these calls through the prism of the formula, and then your mastery could begin to rise. And outside of that, the UBA, the 10 by 10, and the Real Raw Opens are the how to put the formula to action. So for months, we've been teaching influence, we've been teaching process, we've been teaching self-mastery, and now we have a container on the how to apply what you're learning. The Real Raw Opens and the 10 by 10s and the UBA is the how to, the personification of the formula in reality. So remember, this huddle is a place to anchor. It's a place to view the formula in action. It is not the place to learn the formula. I would recommend the 30-day program to begin to learn. And then for everyone that's like, dude, I am like done with learning. It's like Action City. I'm ready to go. That is 10 by 10, UBA, Real Raw Open. If you're looking to really begin to see the fruits of process mastery, which include quality marketing meetings, stages and microphones, quality sales meetings, revenue, contribution, the how to apply process mastery begins in the UBA, the 10 by 10, and the Real Raw Open. So let that land for today, as that's what will make our anchor for today. Like, what is the huddle? And like, how do I start? Those are the questions we're answering today. The huddle is a place to get grounded. It's a place to see the formula in action. It's not the place to learn the formula. I recommend the 30-day program. And then once you're ready to apply what you've been learning, the how, the container of the how, is in your UBA, your 10 by 10, and the Real Raw Open. So today on Thankful Thursday, let's take some action together. We're already almost completely booked out for June. We just opened up July next month for Real Raw Open. So if you do not have your Real Raw Open yet, and you're wondering how you lock that down, you can call the team, Unblinded, and ask for Garrett or Ryan, or if someone could drop this email in the chat, it is realrawopen@unblindedmastery.com. That's realrawopen@unblindedmastery.com, and you could submit to have your open. And Mr. Callaghy, I saw you just jumped on. We were taking it to a close. Do you hear us out there?
Yes. How are we doing out there on Thankful Thursday? I've been listening in for a couple minutes here, Fernando. So you want to keep finishing your point, and then I will drop in?
Yes. So I'll re-anchor and kick it over to you. The morning huddle is a place to anchor. It's a place to view the formula in action. It's not the place to learn the formula. That's where the 30-day program comes in. And the how to apply the formula to you, your life, and business is through the UBA, the 10 by 10, and Real Raw Open. Back to you, Sean.
Yeah. So for everybody, good morning and happy Thankful Thursday. And yeah, I think, here's the essential key point. Let me get the camera going here. There we go. So the essential key point on all this is let's speak into the folks that are at a 9 and above. So let's start there and go backwards. Those folks that are 9 and above already clearly understand that there is massive acceleration present in the micro distinctions consistent with counting ecosystem merging, speaking engagements, stages of microphones, which are not just public speaking, there's all sorts of things, like how you have a lunch meeting, et cetera, all those things. Sales meetings and sales. So that's like what the people in the nines are like here, like, let's talk about that. So speaking into their listening, the micro distinctions today for you folks that are in the 9+ area of your process, marketing mastery, your understanding of the formula and what's present is very simply this. We say the formula, well, actually, no, that's the 0 to 5 folks. So I'll come back. So for the 9+ people, it's when you're running your real raw open and you're leading your 10 by 10, it's thinking at this level of distinction as you curate your 10 and as they curate their 10. So example, if the professional space is critical, because what galvanizes and makes things available for your 10 by 10 folks is if you have people that have business, okay? That and have relationships, that matters. And you may go, well, I don't have business and relationships yet, right? I didn't say everybody in the group had to have business or relationship. What I'm saying is that some of the people there have those things and are not actualizing the value of those things. So, we have a number of beautiful, wonderful people that have incredible ecosystems and are desirous and don't have the distinctions of understanding what to do with the relationships they have. And you're teaching them, folks in the nines, is of immense value. And that, folks in the nines, is often lost on people. But your ability to lead, drive, educate, train. See Rob Gill doing Unblinded Infinity X, right? Where Rob is talking about how he grew his sales meetings so dramatically. So he's then attractive to people who want to talk to him and hear from him and learn from him. I mean, not as a full-time coach, but as somebody they can feel like they have proximity to, relationship with, a proximity to, that represents for them somebody to look at as an example of what's possible, somebody to communicate with and have in their world. Folks in the nines, let that land. Because so often people have an insanely distorted view on value exchange. And we lose sight of what value we can give. Folks in the nines, again, I'm speaking into your listening. This applies to everybody, but I think you'll have this tighter. The first client relationship, major client relationship I created in my life that was the co-shift of everything. There was the speaking engagements in front of the Chiropractic Society, but then there was also this relationship. Many of you heard me tell the story before. I won't go into detail, but I go to this guy's house. He has a lion in his backyard. I'm not saying I agree that's a good thing, but it's what he had. He's telling me it costs thousands of dollars per month to feed his lion. He's got a sports car, huge mansion, and I have nothing and I'm broke. And he tells me how it's all gonna go, how it's all gonna go. And I'm like, it's not gonna go that way. I said respectfully, nicely, calmly. And I was scared. I had no money. I felt like I had perhaps nothing to offer. And then I remembered the things I was learning at that point from some of the readings I was doing. And I was thinking about, no, I did have something to offer. And what I had to offer was me, my influencing ability, which was rising. But even more importantly, what I had to give him that he wanted most in the world. And just guess, what do you think I'm about to say? That he wanted most in the world. What do you think? Fernando, what do you think?
More money, less time, more magic?
Yeah, and he wanted magic. And the magic he wanted was to be connected with someone that made him feel better about the world, his life, and himself. He wanted my positive vibrational energy in his world. When he spoke with me, he felt better about himself because of how I love life and people and like superheroes and positive things. And when he hung out with me, he didn't hear, oh, life sucks, and oh my God, the traffic, and I can't believe, oh, the Jets are going to lose again. I just didn't talk that way. And I never did. And I always believed, and he wanted that in his world. So if you're thinking, what value do I have to offer some of these people? One value you might have to offer is listening, love, and living congruently in the formula, loving people unconditionally with boundaries. Like, that's an extraordinary thing to have around you. That's a thing of value if you live it. One, okay? Two is folks often want some more organizational structure around their growth, which is what the 10 by 10 provides, but they may not get it in the beginning. That's fine. So I will pause with this takeaway from today. If you're in the nines, the value you can add to somebody in your curated group of successful people with clients, lawyers, financial services providers, accountants, successful entrepreneurs like Elle Anderson, and many others that are here. Folks that are making money, right? Folks that have a successful ecosystem. You can provide value to them, right? In the way we just described. And you want people like that in your group, and you want a beautiful mixture of people in your group, right? But you definitely want people like that in your group. And popping for me so far is still a very absent dynamic of professional space people, successful entrepreneur people, which rings to me, right? And now, so let's leave the nines. Now let's go into the 8.9 to 5.1, right? What rings for me is if you're in this space where you're believing, right, that this is going to work, there could be some self-mastery, fear of rejection, failure. There could be some influence mastery. I'm not quite sure how to convey this and get it across. So let me gravitate to safer terrain. And my challenge to you is, and I had this conversation with Craig B., who I love. And quite frankly, I probably put Craig in this middle category, right? And I said to him, and we haven't spoken in a bit, but he was like probably playing in that space a little bit of the safer space for a while. And then he went to like massive reach space, right? I would say it's somewhere in between, like having people, and it's a lot of conversations that will advance the ball. It's not like one big move, it's lots of solid moves. So if I was constructing a group, one of the things I would be doing is I would be practicing relentlessly talking to people who have ecosystems. So, I think Craig reached out, for example, to a major professional organization. Beautiful. But there's tons of subsections of professional organizations that are folks that you can invite onto the Real Raw. Like somebody came on the Real Raw Open yesterday and did such a beautiful job presenting. Perhaps they're here today. It was somebody that is relationship with Grace, and Grace, beautiful job yesterday in many ways. Much learning can be done from it as well, which I'll touch on, in this section in a moment. And they sold on behalf of Avon. And this is an amazing soul, beautiful person. They came on, they talked about how amazing Avon was and how incredible, the products were, the company was, how aligned it was. And they didn't share about their own heroic, unique identity. And I was super impressed by this person. And so my coaching where we're open was like, hey, step into your greatness. Like, who are you? And then somebody else jumped in And when they went, they talked about Unblinded and me, and they were so beautiful and gracious. And I was like, it's not about me. Like, it's about you. Like, why would somebody want to work with you? And then there's a footnote, what you now have access to is the formula and you're learning, but it's about you. So remembering in this category, takeaways for 5 to 8.9, it's about you. It's about you and your amazingness and stepping into your delivery of your heroic, unique identity. And absolutely, you know, certainly part of that dynamic is like 10% of it ish is the formula and we have here, but it's about you. And the execution of those things is why people would want to be with you and around you. It's also about inviting people who have some of these organizational successes that have platforms like Jim Kirkos, like is amazing. And it took a little bit to have conversations, but once you have a beautiful relationship like that, it becomes easier to duplicate. If you're looking to create relationships, let's say in the professional space, organizationally, have organizational leaders come on and be a judge on the Real Raw. So have somebody who is the, you know, the president of the Ocean County, New Jersey Realtor Society, have them come on as a judge, right? Have folks that work as you know, the Latino Bar Association Society of New York City, have them come on as a judge. And now we've entered into that space. They have the ecosystem connections within and above and around. Like, be thinking that way. Like, it's simple. Repeat. Conversation. It's a speaking engagement. Settle your fear and see that your roadmap to ecosystem merging sits in reaching to these people from the contacts you have already and beyond. Like, what if you started posting on social media? What if you started contacting them directly on LinkedIn, like 5 of them a day, and saying, hey, let's have a quick conversation. How are you? Looking to create business. Are you interested in a speaking engagement, right? Or in meeting some other cool people. Having that time blocked and then bringing those type of folks into your 10 by 10 and your Real Raw Open, that's what this is here for. Grace did a beautiful job yesterday. Congratulations to Grace. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your kind words, your edification. Beautiful souls that were there. Such love energy. Like, Grace was so loved by everybody there. A couple micro distinctions. I think as Grace builds what she's building, some reaching out to folks like we're talking about, truly being in the formula, making it about them and their needs, their pain at step 2, huge, right? And then making sure we respect time integrity. And the Real Raw Open, we'll talk more about that, but in the Real Raw Open, please let us drive the model, because if it's going more than an hour and 15, we're gonna run into trouble with people ongoing. And so really tight, bringing people there, letting us drive. You know, it's like fun fact, 15-second, like, hello, how are you? Quick intros of everybody, and then everybody gets the intro themselves through the mechanism of the role play. If you're the role player, these are all quick footnotes to take. These are all the things I'm learning every day as we're doing it. If you're the role player, shrink your answers down a bit so you give more space and time for the other person to have gone through step 1 and 2 and deliver their heroic unique identity and introduce themselves to the group at step 3. So you're seeding and setting up how they can have their stage and microphone after they build rapport with you succinctly. Be like, yeah, so like, what about you? Like, and sense that timing to turn the microphone back to them so they can step in and share their greatness. Just quick micro distinctions.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Can you take us through our final 5 for the day?
Yeah. So thank you. So if you're 0 to 5, like, I don't know about all this, all I would ask you is, do you have any idea what I'm even talking about? And my answer is going to be, you don't. And that's why you should be here. Because the stuff that we're talking about right now is stuff, if you knew and learned, you double, triple, quadruple your income. And what we're not talking about is, hey, you know what? Just hustle, man. Like, go to networking events, like, talk to people, smile, like, introduce yourself. Like, yeah, just have great energy, be like good to people. It's all going to work out. You know, like, really be like a go-giver and like love people and everything's going to be amazing. If you listen to everything we just shared up until that moment that I was a little bit sarcastic and loving and disruptive, my simple answer is what I'm seeing from people continuously on Real Raws and Real Raw Opens who do not understand know the formula is such wonderfully hearted, good people who are operating at 1/100th of their ability and their influence mastery and their process mastery, and like the doubling of income with simple execution and following what we're talking about in a 6-month period, if it's not happening, is singularly because somebody's not adhering and following the formula. And I say that to master students as well. Like, if you're not seeing that jump, my simple question is, how many ecosystems are you merged with? How many speaking engagements you're having? In front of what quality? How many sales meetings? Like, that's it. So if you're hyper focused in that space, you win. Like, you win. As long as your economic model makes sense, right? As long as your economic model makes sense. And if you're having breakdowns, please come to the huddle and like say, hey, I have a question I'd love to share. Put it in the chat. Don't come with the idea that it doesn't work. Of course it works. The it is business. Like, so when we say it's business. But there is a reason, I think the number, and you can fact check me, but I think it's like 96% of businesses fail within the first Y period. I think the Y period is like 5 years. 96%. And that's not because business doesn't work. It's because people are not in the formula. And I will respectfully say this. I've had business relationships not work. But when I'm at a Tony Robbins event and they're like, how many people have been in business for a year? Like over this amount of, like, I'm in a fractional micro percentage of humans because of the formula. When it comes to running Caligula, which is a more than 8-figure business, and I've been doing it for 20 years, like, there's very few people in the room standing up at that moment. And quite frankly, Unblinded is already approaching a multiple 7-figure business in the first half of the year. And we're not even trying to sell anything. You might go, well, yes, you guys sell stuff. I'm not selling. I haven't even started selling, right? So if I started selling, we do 8 figures this year, right? I'm building relationships. We're growing. We're building the foundation, the structure. And so most coaching businesses can't get to a coach making a 6-figure income, which breaks my heart. So please, if you're in a 0 to 5 level of knowingness, like, I know this is not going to work. I know what I'm doing. Like, just look at if you've run, an 8-figure business for 20 years and you could do it by working in it, like, about an hour a week, then come tell me you know better. And I mean that in love. That's a loving lightning bolt. Like, if you built the most successful coaching business that anybody's ever built from their coaching school, then come tell me that this is just like another thing. If you have 2 top national jury verdicts in cases people told you couldn't win of $27 million, $33 million, and you disrupted people you paid $250,000 to that had worked with the top legal names in the country because their system was suboptimal and the formula told me so. If you've done that, then come tell me, right? If you put an event together and have 1,500 people show up in like 60 days, come tell me. And I say that in love. If you're in the 0 to 5 category, 0 to 5 is like knowingness. What is this thing? It's just something else. I say that in absolute love, but in truth. So here we are. Let's go forward. It can happen. The huddle is here every day. Your acceleration. Tomorrow, I want to get back in our conversation about what's present in the world of racial bias in America. I want to have a check-in on where some of that conversation is. We're going to be looking to have a special guest or 2 jump in on that topic. And we're also going to talk about some fun acceleration on Fun Friday. But I'm thankful for the formula. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for truth and acceleration. And not everything is about, but let us not forget that process mastery is about modeling. We are giving you what to model. It is about your time blocking, maximization through measuring and monitoring. What are you counting? Like your 6 things you're counting. your Aurora opens, how many people, what quality for your growth, and finally, your vertical innovation, vertical and horizontal. Fernando, any final?
Final for the sake of time integrity. This is it, everyone. There's a formula here. People go network, go connect, go on podcast. That is like I wouldn't even like remove it too far from the rat race. It's like an entrepreneurial rat race because it's like do a lot of things, not see a lot of results, get burnt out, get motivated to start over. Intellectual entertainment, back at the same spot. This is not any of those things. This is formula based. And I want to end with this because it's like really heavy on my heart.
I want to make on that and we're done. So go ahead. So kick it back to me for the end. Yeah.
Yes, like really heavy on my heart. I don't want to pretend like Unblinded doesn't have blind spots. We do. There's areas where we're suboptimal in. And we don't even know we're suboptimal in them. And there's areas that we know we're suboptimal in that we want to grow. And what's heavy on my heart is there's so many beautiful people that are giving us concepts, ideas, and all of them are so valid. And what my ask is to our movement today is we're looking for leaders. We know there's areas to grow and we want to grow them with people. This is what ecosystem merging partnership is all about. If you see areas, don't hide. Come together, share it with us. We are open-minded. We, Sean, of all people, is coachable. And if you have ideas and you know how we can become better as a movement because we are a tribe and a family, we are so open to hearing it. And here's my final request. Step into leadership. Tell us the ideas. And not only tell us the ideas, tell us how you're going to implement them. And I promise you, proximity will be available. Friction will be non-existent. And we will support you because we know that you have our best intentions in mind. That is all. Back to you, Sean.
And apply that same desire for growth to yourself. So if your predominant focus is how to make Unblinded better and what we're doing or not doing and what we could do better versus you growing your own business and your skill set, then we are definitely off and lost.
Yes, thank you.
That is you're way lost. And Fernando feels that pull a lot. I think people talk about those things a lot. And I'm going to challenge Fernando, Adam, our entire team. Here with you the question of, okay, rate yourself in influence, process, and self-mastery right now. And so it's a mutual conversation of growth. We're receiving amazing feedback every single day. I worked 17 hours yesterday. We are building this thing like crazy. Please be building what you're building with the passion and enthusiasm. Your love for Unblinded, right? Your desire for its success should be second to your love for yourself and your success. Thank you for your caring. Thank you. You come first, period. Make sure you are eating your cooking. We're making sure we're eating our cooking and we're all working, growing together. And you want to talk about growth? I didn't think of this. You graduate from things. Final, right? You graduate from things. I was on a beautiful podcast yesterday with a wonderful person. And when I was starting it, in the middle of it, and done with it. Do you know what I was thinking, Fernando?
What were you thinking?
Why am I doing this? I'm like, I graduated. Why am I doing this? So that's what the formula does for you. And so my the efficiency, practicality of me being on podcasts is complete. Announcement. If Tim Ferriss or somebody that has a massive, extreme following, I will be open. I will honor the commitments I've made. We have a company that books me on podcasts. I'm restructuring our relationship to say it is only in the window that I will go and beyond, and that's it. And you're like, wow, no, it's what you're supposed to do. You graduate to bigger stages. That's what it is. And that's why I graduated from running my BNI group, because it wasn't structured like a 10 by 10. And I created my own dynamic version of that. And here you go. It is Thankful Thursday. You're like, what is this thing? This is how you grow and accelerate. You do good. You add more massive value, receive more money, time, and magic. Thankful Thursday. Love you all. And don't let us care more about your dreams than you do. Thank you.
Love you.